Thank you, Mauricio, for your message. There was so much that you encapsulated, so much that you wrote about that it's hard to remember everything. But one of the things that I like that you said is the something that that I struggle with, where you said, let us not even dare to speak ill of ourselves, for God has already blessed us. And that is something that's it's so easy to do because of our history, because of the past, where we come from. And it's almost a constant voice in our heads. Oh, I'm not good enough. I'm not doing well enough. What is my purpose? What am I really here? Especially more and more as the world grows darker, we have to really embody that understanding that we have his divine spark, and that we don't always know how we're going to be a light to others. We don't always know what actions that we're taking, because we can't. I mean, God is the one who knows our hearts, and all we can do is the very best that we can do. And as Yanette said before, just try to find the positive in things instead of seeing the glass half empty, see it half full. But it's difficult in days like this. And we're not even in the parts of the world where the main war is. We're here. Like last night or the night before, I was listening to, it was late at night, in the middle of the night, and an ambulance went by, a siren. And I was, it kind of woke me up. And I was thinking, in Israel, they have this over and over and over and over. We can't even begin to understand that in our country. So, but even in all this, even during war, we have to remember that God is behind everything and that he's with us. So, because it was your message, I would like you to expound on certain things. For me, one of the things also and I questioned you about it, was the circumcision. And it really made me think, because God doesn't expect everyone to be circumcised, just Israel. So in the future, will that be part of what is going to happen? I don't know. Maybe you can expand a little bit about that and what that means for us today.
Okay, shalom. Really, one of the things that I wrote this about not talking about bad on ourselves is because it made me so sad to see some Jews going to the Capitol in the United States to protest against the invasion of Israel to the land of Palestine. When I saw that, I couldn't imagine how could be possible that this happened. And when we start to say, hey, I'm against Israel, and you are you are doing something that in the Torah says, I will bless to those who bless you, and I will curse those who curse you.
But the same thing, just to interrupt one moment, I lose your train of thought, but those same people went to protest the Orthodox Jews getting together to have a gathering for Simchat Torah, to celebrate the Torah in the streets. They were protesting that, but they weren't protesting the other a gathering that was happening, where they had this huge Buddha, and all the young people, where they were attacked, there was a huge Buddha there. So it just goes to show the division in the land that's happening right now, or that was before the attack. Exactly.
Yeah, but the point is this, okay? Lately, I have been with a lot of expressions here in my country, which is not really Muslim, or is not really Jewish, but people start to talk about, oh, the The Israelis are like Nazis.
Imagine.
The Israelis are like the South African movement that were in the 80s, that they separate black and white people. It's sad, really. Okay, and they said Israel is an apartheid, and you know, you start to hear of these things in how people cannot see what is happening, really, because they only see one side, and it's more sad, okay, when you see all these dead corpses of Palestine people moving the fingers just to say, hey, wait, there is coming another one. So they have a resurrection, a lot of resurrection people, okay, because supposedly they are showing the world we are being killing, and kids that, for example, comes another bomb and they jump from the cover with a blanket, and they suddenly just wake up from death, and they start to run. So it's lying. They
It's
are
a media
lying.
war.
And you know, the saddest part of everything here is they built their operation center of Hamas just underground and a hospital.
Right.
So and then all these people and all these tendencies start to put in your head, Israel is the bad one. Israel is the bad one. And people do not understand that when they say, yes, Israel is the bad one, they are cursing Israel. Okay. They are not blessing Israel. Okay. And this is so important, because when God has blessed something, no matter if it's good or it's bad behavior, okay, but it's blessed by God, it's sanctified by God, nobody can curse. That's why Bilam, you saw, how can I curse something that is already blessed?
Right.
Okay. No matter what the whole world could say, the United Nations could say about Israel, Israel will be blessed, okay? Because God has spoke those words. You are blessed. And it's really sad that people just believe that to curse Israel, when you say, oh, you are cursed people. No, it's beyond.
Yeah,
And I can tell you, yeah,
we will suffer the consequences of the thing that we do wrong, but they still cannot curse us. God will deal with us.
Yeah, God will punish us.
Exactly. Or we will
He
punish
will allow. Yeah, but God will allow that these things happens to us, because He wants that we go in the right direction.
Turn back
Okay,
to Him. Exactly.
turn back to Him. Yeah. So, but by cursing Israel, by supporting these ideas, by supporting these speeches, all these things, we are really supporting the cursing of Israel, not the blessing of Israel.
Which will bring a curse on them.
Yeah, and you can see that, okay? For example, Palestine people cannot get out from poverty, even though they receive probably more money than Israel in help, in aid.
Yes.
Okay. Because what they do, instead to build hospitals, instead to build schools and all this infrastructure to raise up a new cities, they use to support the army to support weapons.
To build tunnels, to build bombs.
Can you, I don't know if you have ever thought about how much money they have spent Palestine in this war. I can tell you it's more than $100 million, because, for example, to send rockets, how much is one rocket?
Exactly.
And to send 5,000, 10,000.
Right.
Okay,
right.
It's a lot of money to build of this infrastructure of tunnels and things like that.
Yeah.
So they don't see that they are, every time they attack Israel, they are cursing themselves.
Yeah.
Instead to win a war. Okay. And it's sad that some Jews cannot see that.
Exactly.
Okay? And you know, for me, also this is for whole nation, but also is by ourselves. When I start to say I'm not good enough, I cannot do that, I cannot read the Torah, I cannot pray, I cannot, you start to talk bad about yourself, and then you don't realize that you are cursing something that God already blessed.
Right.
You are blessed.
Right.
And then you have to start to talk good about yourself, good things about you. And it's not about to be blind. If you need to correct something, you have to correct.
Right.
But always say, oh, I'm blessed.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
So then I have to act accordingly.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
And I can give you an example in the Bible. Remember Ham?
Yes.
Okay. What happened when they land again with Noah and their families? It says that the God blessed Noah and his sons.
Right.
Remember?
Right.
And what happened when Ham, who is blessed, did something bad with his father? To whom Noah cursed?
Canaan, his son. Ham's son.
Ham's son, not to Ham. Why? Because Noah knew that Ham was already blessed. Even though he cursed, he will be blessed because God already blessed Ham.
Right.
So to be blessed by God is not really about your behavior. Is about that God already Ham had some consequences, and their sons suffer the consequences. Okay, but if we can see that Noah understood that. So if there is some Jew that is not good, is not a good example, he is a barbarian, whatever you want to call it.
Right.
That guy is blessed by God, but doesn't mean that God will not take will not give him some peace, I would say. Okay, because I am blessed, and for example, as you mentioned, these ultra Orthodox were celebrating Simchat Torah while Israel was under attack. Okay, yeah, they are blessed by God, but the consequences of his acts, they cannot see. As Lot, there is a veil, okay, for them. But anyway, and then also there are so many points I was discovering in just two verses, okay, because to be a blessing, okay, because for me is so important. This we have to act to be a blessing in every single action that we do in our lives. Okay. Sometimes we don't want to be a blessing. Okay. and and sometimes we want to be a curse for somebody because they have already made something bad to us. Okay. I remember yesterday night I was very tired. I was really exhausted. And I wanted to go to bed at 8 p.m. So it was very, very, and was a lot of noise in my house because some kids come to my house because my house is the club of everyone in the neighborhood, because you know we are like a very good hostage, like Abraham. Okay.
Yeah.
So we receive all the kids. Oh, here, do you want some fruit? Do you want some snacks? And you want something to drink, whatever. And when all the kids go to another house, the parents are not really very good hostage. And
Host.
then
Host.
yeah, hosts, yeah,
Yeah.
hosts. And
Hostages when they kidnap you.
yeah, okay, sorry, costs. And then um we so there were a lot of noise, and I was trying to sleep because I was very tired, and
Yeah.
but all the kids
Yeah.
running through all the house. And even when my wife tell me, hey, the new president of the neighborhood wants to raise up the quote of the to pay the services of the neighborhood. He wants to raise up the quote. If not, he will not allow you to enter to the house. Okay.
Oh,
So it was like I was trying to sleep, but I at the same time I was not thinking about to be a blessing for this guy. I was thinking about to be cursed, because it was like, oh, I'm gonna do this and gonna do that. And after, I don't know, probably 45 minutes about thinking on the same thing and growing my anger, my wrath, more and more and more and more. I was, thinking about to park to park my car in his punch. Then to start to knock his house at midnight and things like that.
there was no
Okay.
Shabbat Shalom for you.
No, it was not Shabbat Shalom really. Okay. But all this happened in my mind, eh, 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 and then I realized, and I remember something: you are a blessing. Okay. And then all these thoughts, just like it was like a fire, and you put some water on the
Wow.
fire, and
Wow.
then I don't know in how many times after this came to my mind I could sleep, because
Wow.
I couldn't. I was
Yeah.
rolling on my bed from
Yeah.
one side to another, and but this is the conscious about to know we are a blessing,
Wow.
even though sometimes we don't want to be a blessing for
Yeah.
someone, because we say, oh, he doesn't deserve my peace, he doesn't deserve my
Yeah. Right.
blessing. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
But even though you don't want to give him a blessing, you are already blessing. So at the moment this person approach to you, he is already blessed just by your presence.
Huh.
Okay.
Interesting.
And so and so I was really excited about when I wrote these words. It just came to my mind a lot of a lot of things, because is something that daily we need to live with. Okay. uh, when you are at your work, you have to say, I am a blessing, I will do it the best I can.
Right.
When you are at the school, I am a blessing, I will help all my different students, and I will bless my teacher. okay, and I will do my best because I am a blessing. And this pattern of thinking will make you a better person.
Right.
When you look back, then you realize, oh, I have grown,
Right.
but because you are a blessing.
Right.
So it's about to have this awareness in you that, oh, I want to do something bad. No, I cannot. I am a blessing. Okay.
You have to put
So
little post-it notes everywhere. I am a blessing.
yeah,
Frigidaire everywhere. It's a good idea.
yeah, and you know, and also I was thinking about the great faith of Sarai,
Right.
because if we read from Genesis 11 to 12, there are 75 between 10 lines, okay, or 12 lines, I don't know, 75 years.
Wow.
So it's a lot,
Yeah.
okay. And during all this thing, Abraham just received 5 lines of 5 words of God in 75 years. And that was enough to produce in him a great emunah. Okay. Um, so when God talk a person, he doesn't need to give a speech. Okay. Just
When
one
God
word.
what? When God,
When God speak to a person,
he doesn't need words.
yeah, he doesn't need a speech, a complete
Right.
speech, because people try to to say, oh, I want to receive a message, and they believe that they will receive, I don't know, a book. Okay.
Right.
So, but no, this Abraham just received 5 things,
Yeah.
and that was enough to change his mentality, to change his behavior, to change everything within him. Okay. So um and this is very powerful, because when we hear the voice of God, we probably we will not hear a book, we
No.
will hear some words.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It
And
happened to me
then
this week when I was
mhm,
like at the beginning of the week when I was so stressed at what was happening in Israel. And it was just all of a sudden, it's almost like I heard the words, but I didn't hear them. Be still and know that I am God. Simple.
mhm,
Yeah.
yeah, and when you hear this voice, just produce peace in you. I don't know
Yes.
if happened to you, and then you realize, and then you start to see everything completely different.
Mm.
You don't need a speech.
No, exactly.
You just need to hear the voice of God
Mm.
inside of you,
Right.
and that's enough. And the last one, I would like to say is regarding this anti-Semite uh, problem. I was in you know, in the on the road, and I was with another 3 persons, and then the one who was the pilot of the car, he asked me something. Um, Look, I have a question with you. He told me, what do you think about the Good Samaritan?
Mm.
And and I just look at him, because if he was a very good Samaritan, then the rest were bad persons. Okay.
Hmm.
And because prior we were talking about, he asked me something about Israel. Um, and I just look at him, and I start to say, I don't know from where it came. Okay. But I start to explain him. Okay. This, okay, regarding the Good Samaritan, remember that in the books, ancient books, they didn't have any title. The title of every portion were edited in the Middle Ages. Okay, they start to put these quotas, these titles, subtitles to the text, because they want to separate the
Like Lech Lecha.
ideas, that like Lecha. Okay, and then, but if you go to the original books, scrolls, then you realize that there is not that
No
kind of
separation.
separations. Okay, so when we read the Good Samaritan, is because the one who edited that probably was anti-Semitic, and he want to show that Jews are not good and Samaritans are good, even though the Samaritans were Jews too,
Mm-hmm.
because they were Israelites.
Mm-hmm.
Mix up, yeah, but they were Israelites.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so and then I start to explain him. Okay, it says that on the road, a person who we don't know who was, okay, was assaulted, and he got very uh punished, and he get injured, and it seems that he's going to death, because it says that, if I can remember, that this person almost died, and he looks like he was dead. Okay, and that is a very important point. Okay, because it says that first it came a Levite, then came as a priest. Okay, and these two guys were not against this person who was dead. Okay, they probably thought he was dead, and according to the Torah, okay, it says that a person who is under the service of God could not be close to a dead person.
Right.
Okay, so because if he's close to a dead person, then he becomes impure, and he cannot do the service to God. Okay, and so then when we analyze why this person, the Levite and the priest, didn't want to help this guy, is because they have a reason that they thought, okay, to serve God, to fulfill a commandment, is more important than probably to help this person.
Mm-hmm.
If he's already dead, I cannot do nothing for him, or probably I can took him and he get dead at the moment, so I get impure. I cannot serve God, and it's not about the person. It's about what he feels, the guilty he will feel about doing something that is against the Torah. And then it come a Samaritan. And Samaritan was a Israelite, okay, that was conquered by Assyria, and they were mixed up, but they when you read Kings, and then you realize that they were separated from Judah, okay, and Benjamin, because the Syrians conquered them. So they assimilate the ideas of the Assyrians, and then some of them become idolaters. Okay, some of them make a mix between the Torah and this paganism. Okay, and some of them already stay like Jewish. Okay, so it was very difficult, but for him, even he was an Israelite, he can, yes, he can be impure, but that will not affect him like priest and the Levite because he will not serve at the temple.
Right.
Okay. So for him was very easy to help these people and take care, okay, because of his condition, okay. And then, so when the Rabbi Yeshua start to talk about this, the principle is very simple when you look, okay. And the commandment is that all the commandments are for living, okay. In when, so it's not about categorize the commandments. No, that means what? No, it's about to have the principle that life is the most important thing of the eternal, okay. So what is teaching Yeshua is, what if you get impure to help and bring life to another person, okay. If this situation happens to you, go ahead and do it. Another example, I told him, the Torah says that is in some Judaism roots says that you cannot, for example, fire a flame, okay, it's forbidden. But what if you are in Alaska or in Canada under 20 degrees and you say, oh, I will not fire a flame because I will break Shabbat, and then you and your family will get dead. So what is the principle here? To preserve life, okay. Another thing, for example, during the attacks in Israel, there were a lot of people injured. So how can you say, I will not work because today is Shabbat, okay?
Right.
You have
Yeah.
to attend all these people,
Exactly.
okay, in the hospital,
Yes.
because the principle is life is more important.
Right.
In so every commandment we do, okay, and we follow is putting the principle of life on the top, okay. If that will bring you life, then do it. If that will not bring life, then start to question you why I'm doing this. So in when he understood this principle, and I told him, for example, okay, you are you Catholic, right? So for example, for you, it's a commandment that during the Passover you cannot eat meat. Okay. Imagine you are in a desert, okay, with your family because your plane crashed. Okay. And then you see a beautiful I don't know how to say that, venado, which is like Bambi, okay.
Like a deer.
Yeah, deer, yeah. You saw a deer, but you are forbidden to eat meat. So what would you do? To let your family die, or to break the commandment to bring life to your family? And so he could understand my point of view. So, and I told him, and this is the way sometimes anti-Semitism is hidden in the world, because it's teaching, oh, the Jews are bad, the Israelites are bad, by supposedly some title, okay? And it's really sad because this is entering to the mind of the population of the world. And at the end, God just create Adam, okay?
A what?
He create one Adam, okay? One humankind, okay? He doesn't really create, oh, this is a race and this another race. No, he creates just one Adam. I don't know, probably he was different colors but the point is that at the end of the days, it says that God will unify at Jerusalem all the nations of the world. Okay, so we will live in peace, and that means the lion and the sheep. Okay,
Lamb will lie down together.
yeah, they
Yeah.
will start to live together. Okay, in peace.
Mhm.
So obviously, the world today is like a lion for Israel. They want to attack. They want to eat Israel. But the sheep or is Israel. Okay, the lamb is Israel. So what is God prophesying is that all the nations can live together. Not that all the world will become a lamb. No, they still be a lion, but a lion that can live with Israel. Okay, and so that the idea is, what will be so very joyful that all the human can understand this. Okay, that is God, there is only one God. Okay, and this God, no matter if you are Jew or not, you or you are not Jew, loves you, cares about you, and and he wants that we live in a peaceful place. Okay,
Mhm.
not destroying one each other. Okay, not attacking one each other. It's just about that. For that reason, we will celebrate together Sukkot. We will dwell under the cover of God. Okay, under the cover of one God. So yeah, Jews will last forever, be Jews. Okay, but in the other nations are not obligated, I would say, to follow the same rules of the Jews.
Which is the whole idea of the circumcision. It will
Yeah,
always
which is
be just for the nation, but you have all the other nations who believe in the same God, who fear the same God, but they don't need that circumcision. It's just for this nation.
yeah. And if you want to become part of this nation, then go and circumcise.
Right,
Okay. But if you don't want to become a Jew, you can be an uncircumcised people, and that will not make you worse or better person,
right,
because are your actions
right, exactly.
actually what gives you this statement of being good or bad person.
Right.
And yes, God, for that reason, he says in a lot of things, I am the king of the earth. The earth is the if the is I sit on the earth. I create everything. And so it's not about, oh, you have to become this. No.
Yeah. But when Yeshua was upset with the Orthodox, with the religious Jews of his day, like sometimes I get upset with them, he wasn't anti-Semitic. He was just showing them that what they were doing was putting too heavy burdens and pulling people away from him. Would you agree?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, because what Rabbi Yeshua, he was against one of these things, the Hasmonean. The Hasmonean were from Esav, and they were ruling the temple. So by principle, the priesthood was not according to the Torah. Okay,
It wasn't through
they
Aaron. It was like at the time of the Hanukkah, what we celebrated Hanukkah, the Hasmoneans.
Mhm.
Right.
Yeah, but they were not really ironic.
No.
Okay, so from since that, this as an Israelite, you could say, oh, I will not follow these people because they are in the power by the Romans, but not by God commandments, because according to the Torah, is through the line of Aaron, okay?
Right.
And it's the very same idea of Melchizedek in this portion, okay? Remember that it says that was Melchizedek, which is king, okay, Malchi, Sedek of justice. So many of the Jewish commenters and in erudites, they said he was Shem, okay, this Melchizedek, okay. And it's interesting that as Brian read in this moment, in this portion today in the morning, he said that they were under the tree of the Moreh. Okay, Moreh is teacher, right?
Right. Right.
So you start to connect, then you realize, Abraham was under Shem's, okay? And when he saw Melchizedek, he says that he saw Melchizedek, he gave 10% of his wealth, okay, to this guy. But this priest already, they already meet one each other, okay? How can you give money to a person that you don't know? Okay, so there is a relationship between Melchizedek and this, but the line of priesthood was not given to Melchizedek, was given to Aaron. Okay.
Right.
Okay, because Melchizedek was not blessed by God. And he make a mistake if you read carefully, okay? Because he blessed first Abraham, and then he blessed God. And that's why, according to the Sayers, he was taken from priesthood, okay, and was given to Aaron. So, but the point is that the Melchizedek was not circumcised, okay, honestly, but he was a priest of God,
Right.
okay.
Yeah.
So, and I want to just to make you think, okay, about that the circumcision, okay. Circumcision is a covenant, is a sign between the sons of Abraham who wants to live under the covenant of Abraham and the rest of the world. But the rest of the world can have a relationship with God. And this is
So what's the difference between the circumcision of Isaac and the circumcision or Abraham and the circumcision of Ishmael? I mean, Abraham and because Ishmael was also circumcised.
Yeah, he was circumcised.
So he's
but the
part of the
promise,
covenant?
no, but the point is that yes, he was, and okay, returning back.
Rewind,
Okay, rewind. There is a conception that when you marry with your wife, you become
one.
Okay. So when it says that the blessing was for Abraham, and you are one with your wife, who is already blessed at the same time, like you are Abraham, was Sarah, okay? She was blessed because they were one, okay? So the blessing is for this echal, for this one, which is Sarah and Abraham. Yeah, the Keturah, and then it says that the commentaries in that there is the same Keturah. The other,
I mean, Hagar and Keturah are the same?
Yeah, Hagar, yeah. So, but they were not really one because they were not the wife of Abraham. So the blessing will become from what union? Okay, from the union of I for example, from Keturah is only the half of Abraham. Okay, if you can see that. Okay, and so when God blessed Abraham, he only had one wife. So the blessing was for this couple. Okay, they already are one. So so it's following this idea.
But when
Okay,
it says, I will bless those who bless you, and you will be, I will make from you a father of many nations. He was also talking about the 12 nations that he came from Ishmael, no?
yeah, they already are blessed by God.
Yeah.
Okay, we cannot say that they are not blessed, and we need to start to bless these Arabs. Okay, okay, but Egyptians, for example, they are not really Arabs.
They're not Arabs. The Egyptians were there before the Arabs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And who are in Hamas is, for example, Egyptians. Okay.
Are they
That's
mostly
to,
Egyptians, the Hamas?
yeah, they are most Egyptians. They come not from Arabs. The Arabs today, they are supporting Israel. They say, oh, I hope Netanyahu destroy Hamas. Okay, because for they are very a headache. Okay.
Yeah, the Saudi Arabia was about to sign a peace treaty with Israel when this happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And but you can see, for example, another nation, Iran, they are not Arabs. They are
No,
Persians.
Persians, right.
Yeah. So they are willing to destroy Israel, and they are supporting Hamas, for example.
I thought Hamas was more Persian. They're not.
Yeah, they are Persians, really.
Yeah.
Okay. It's the same Turkey. Turkey is they are Turkish. They are not
Sorry, did
Arabs,
you
really.
say Hamas are Persians? A lot of them are
No,
Hamas?
they are supported by Persians,
Oh, they're
the
supported
Iranians.
by, but
Yeah,
they're not.
yeah, they are not. They are Lebanese, Jordans, and Egyptians. Okay,
Okay.
that's what they are. Okay, in so I was showing this idea. This war is not about the land of Israel,
No.
Yeah, no, it isn't.
because, for example, Egypt, Jordan, in Lebanon and Iran, they have more land than Israel. Okay, so it's not about the land;
No.
it's about to destroy the 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 Jewish people.
Yeah.
This is about. Okay, so in so um, but at the end, the God already blessed Ishmael and already blessed the other sons with Keturah. Okay, because even we don't want to see, they were Abraham's sons. Okay, but the promise was given to Abraham and to Sarai because they were together. So that's why Isaac comes the blessing of, and then the other one is goes beyond, because yeah, Esau and Jacob.
Jacob.
So they were sons of Abraham, they were sons of Yitzhak, but one of his sons decided to go away from the path of God. Okay, and he become, according to Isaiah, they say that Esau killed Nimrod. Okay, so it's like I decided to receive or to follow this idea of blood and things like that. Okay. So, we can spend talking about this a lot. Okay, but it's about this portion. It's about to be blessing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. And to remember that. Thank you, Mauricio. I really appreciate your teaching. I'm so grateful, for it.
It was wonderful.
Yeah. And to tell you the truth, at times it makes me question what I'm doing, because I read it on such a simple level, and I don't study the way you do. I don't study the way the rabbi did. And I just want people to start coming back to it, at least to begin to go there. We can go to such depths with the Torah. It's absolutely amazing. After reading it for 35 years, I'm still learning. And the more I learn, the less I know. I remember Rabbi used to say that, and now I understand. It's just incredible. Hello, Sari. How are you? ¿Cómo estás, Sari? We were just speaking about you. How's Abraham? Sari, ¿cómo estás? We can't hear you. No puede escuchar.
Hola.
Hola.
Hola, ¿qué tal, Sari? ¿Cómo
¿Me
estás?
escuchas?
Sí.
Contenta de poder estar en este momento con ustedes, porque ya no he podido entrar. Ya estoy tomando nuevamente las clases, pero hoy se suspendieron. Entonces, por eso entré ahorita con ustedes.
Okay. She said that she wants,
¿Sí
she's
me
very
escucharon?
happy.
No.
Yeah, she's very happy about be today, and she's at class right now. But today they suspend the class, so she could enter at least one
At
moment.
least a little bit. Yeah. She's going back to school in Texas to be a teacher, not a nurse. Okay. Enfermera.
Enfermera.
Enfermera. So,
French.
yeah. And yeah, the French is infirmière.
Infirmière.
Infirmière, exactly. Well,
Just
I
one
want.
thing I wanted to say.
Yes.
First of all, you said so much for all the discussion with, and Mauricio, you're such a rich message. Just one thing you had said, I found wonderful, that when God puts His Spirit into us, and which is consciousness basically, and it's just so interesting. Scientists are so they're so passionate about what is consciousness, and there's so many studies on that, and they're saying this and that. Where does it come from? As you said, doesn't come from the brain, but it's God's Spirit in us, and there are some scientists, but it's not vocal. You don't hear it that much, who do believe that that's God, because they can't. There's no way they can find. It's not in the brain. It's not in the location. Because what happens when part of your brain is injured, it tends to be taken over by another side of the brain. Anyway, so I found that so interesting about the Spirit in us, that's consciousness, and that's God. And the world doesn't want to talk about it often like that. And just one thing, when you said about that we're blessed, and then we talk against ourselves, it's not accepting God in our lives. But there's so many people who become self-righteous about themselves, but they're not really referring to a relationship with God. And you see that in false religions. You see that even in Hamas, as horrifying as it is, but they think that they're following Allah, but they're not. They're not following anybody. They're only their own violence. But anyway, so thank you for the message. It was so rich and very special. I could talk for an hour, but I'm not going to.
All right. Well, I wish everybody the rest of the wonderful day. Enjoy the weather. Enjoy your day. Enjoy God's creation. Let's realize what a blessing we are. and let's go and be a blessing to others. So I wish you a Shabbat Shalom, and God willing, we'll see you during the week.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Besos para todos. Shabbat Shalom.
Gracias, Yanet. Bye. Bye. T.
Bye. Shabbat Shalom. Bye.
Bye.